So my wife and I met in seminary. She was in the School of Church Social Work, and I was in the theology department. And we probably first met in church history or New Testament class, to be honest. And she was that girl, and we had this book that was the directory, and it was called The Funny Book. And she was that girl that I pointed to, and I said, I honestly did say this, I'm not going to date anybody in seminary, but if I did date anybody, it would be her. Kelly Lynn Ross from North Little Rock, Arkansas. And so for the first year, I guess we just kind of worked in these kind of parallel universes. And then in my third semester, we started dating. Our first date was when Arkansas went to the Sweet 16, or went to the Final Four of the basketball tournament. It was the year after they had won the championship. So March Madness is always kind of like our anniversary of dating. And so that was kind of fun. We dated for, I guess it was about 9 months or so before we got engaged. She was talking to her dad on the phone, or maybe I was talking to her dad on the phone. We were just talking about marriage, that decision, and then she said something like, "So you're thinking about this?" And I said, "Oh yeah, absolutely, I'm thinking about this." And she said, "Well, why don't you ask my dad?" And then she dialed up the phone and she handed me the phone. And so I'm talking to her dad, and I was like, okay, there you go. And so I think this is the way it happened. But I had not really planned a proposal necessarily, but I did have a ring. And so we went on a walk, and we sat on the steps of the chapel up there at the seminary. And I opened up, I'm a theology student, so I opened up Genesis, and I read the story of Rachel, and of Jacob and Rachel, and how Jacob loved Rachel. And I didn't read the part about him marrying Leah, her sister. Anyway, and then proposed right there. And so that was kind of how we got engaged. So we married in 1996, June 15th. And Father's Day weekend, and we've been married for 25 years now, and it really has just been the most magnificent experience that I've had. I don't know that she would say that, but it's been great from my end. It really has been wonderful. We went through the decision of, do we have kids? When do we have kids? Do we try to have kids? And I remember talking to a couple back at Helena, and just said, I just don't know that the time is right. I don't know. We don't have our ducks in a row. We don't have any money. I just don't know. And he said, man, if you wait until everything's right before you do this, then it's never going to happen. And so I think it was probably about 11 or 12 months later, we had our first child. I mean, it really was. It just kind of started it going, and we thought, you know what? He's right. We're never going to be ready for anything. You just have to step out and do it. And so we've got two boys, Daniel and Landon. Daniel will be 21 in November. He's a student at UAH. And Landon is graduating from Pell City High School this year, and he'll start in Tuscaloosa in the fall. I'm kind of hoping that he has a different experience than I did. Unless he's getting called to ministry, which would be very cool. So who knows? Daniel is majoring in economics. He's hoping to kind of piggyback onto that and have an undergraduate in economics and a master's degree in something that has to do with economics and numbers, but I have no idea what it is. Landon is planning on majoring in civil engineering in Tuscaloosa, but he hasn't yet started, and so we'll just kind of have to see how that all plays out. But I've self-nominated for non-parent of the year for like 20 years now. So I've taken myself out of the running pretty much every year. So one time we took the boys to get their hair cut, and they were getting their hair cut like simultaneously in different chairs, and Kelly was over here with Landon telling them, do this on the side and this on the top and stuff like that. And she had kind of already given instruction to about Daniel, and said, like a number 3 on the side, and whatever. And I don't, hair's not my thing. And so she was over here talking to Landon, and then she turned back and looked, and the the stylist had taken the clippers and just gone on Daniel's head with like a number 3, and which is not that tall, and she just looked and was like, and sure enough, man, his whole head was just like that, like an inch high. And so all the way home from getting our hair cut, Landon, the younger, was looking at Daniel with this look on his face like, I'm not really sure what happened. You know, what's going on? And then Daniel, I think, was feeling like, am I okay? Is this okay? And so when we got home, this was back in Southside, so they were young. And so when we got home, I was just feeling so bad for Daniel, because it just, that was just unfortunate. And so I said, Landon, doesn't his hair look good? Wouldn't you like for your hair to look like that? And of course, I'm a professional barber. I've been cutting my hair for years. And so he said, sure. And so I got out mine, put the guard on, cut his hair just like his brother's. And so anyway, I'm not sure that either of them would want that to be shared, but it really was a kind of a precious memory, so it was fun.